Okay, greetings. We are setting up our next round of Magic Realm games. And you can see here the results from the first round. Um, Druids in first place with 4 points and 14 raw. Raw is their score that they scored in the game. And then effectively they got 4 points for first place, 3 points for second, two for third, one for fourth place, zero for a death. And then ties are broken by the raw score, as you can see. So, Druid, White Knight, Witch King, and Dwarf. Those are our four contenders in the first bracket. That's going to be the next game here. You'll see the middle Amazon Elf, Sorcerer, Black Knight, and or Magician. We actually have to figure out which of those two is going. First column, by the way, is games versus deaths. So it's like a kill to death ratio. This is games for death ratio. So yeah, you'll see the Captain, Berserker, and Pilgrim. Those are the three that died last round. Everybody else managed to succeed. And again, you'll notice that the Woods Girl scores 2 points, even though she only had 5.5 raw points. She is still ahead of the Wizard and the Sorcerer, who both outscored her in the actual game. But since she came in second place, she wins that. And this second round will just be all those four groups, just the top four and so on, all the way down the line. Swordsman, Captain, Berserker, Pilgrim being our last cohort, as you can see. And we'll get that done. And then we'll figure out if there's another format we want to do. Do we want to do solo games for everybody? Do we want to do sprint to 10 points, which is slightly different in that the game can end at any time. As soon as anyone scores 10, the game's over. Stuff like that. So that's sort of what we're going to do. And so you will see that coming up here in the next few weeks. We're going to do that. And so let's get rid of that. And we're going to set this game up. So you'll see here that we have the Druid. For the Druid, I took Summon Animal. Yeah, I wonder if... So the Druid took Summon Animal and Guide Spider or Octopus. So I don't know about Guide Spider or Octopus at this point. I mean, base game, it's actually a pretty great spell because there's not a lot of other spells really to take. But now there's a ton of spells to take. I figure we're going to try. So the other option would be Nudge, but we went with Guide Spider or Octopus. So the reason we're taking Summon Animal is primarily to try to roll 3s and 4s on it to get either the ability to fly the next day or the ability to walk the woods. Guide Spider or Octopus will be solely to take control of the cairn or the pool. If we find either of those, bam, we're just going to win and loot those clean. So I think that's the Druid. The Dwarf, no spells, of course. The Dwarf is right here. His goal is obviously to get directly into these caves in the Borderlands and then go to these caves here and or the cavern there. It's a pretty good map for the Dwarf, so hopefully he will be able to capitalize. White Knight, of course, takes Make Whole. And the Witch King I went just because this is vaguely competitive. I didn't do anything super wacky. I took Drain Life, Fiery Blast, Melt into Mist, and Dissolve Spell. And the reason I took Dissolve Spell is simply so that we don't get a situation where the Druid is enchanting purple everywhere, such that Melt into Mist becomes a liability for our guy here. So we're going with a very straightforward loadout here for the Witch King in hopes that he can win, especially because these are all the characters that won last time. your score here is going to be fairly important because, again, you're going to get 4, 3, 2, or 1 point. So someone is going to end this game with 4 or 5 points, and someone's going to end with 8. Right. So that's sort of a big deal. Playing everyone in their cohort there, in that top cohort together, is going to sort of average out the scores a little bit. So we'll have to figure that out. There you go. So those are the 4 characters. Let's get quests out the door and events. Let's make sure that this is random. It is. Yay. So there you go. And 1, 2, 3, and 4. So there's our quests. So we have, for the Druid, Sudden Insight, Spellmaster, and Pilgrimage. Well, I don't hate any of those, actually. Let's go and find... So where is the Spellmaster? We get to roll it. We'll put a Druid token directly on there. 7-5, high pass 5. So the Druid has to go to high pass 5. It's not incredibly far away from where we start, but it is a little bit of a jaunt since you're going to have to go through the cliff to get there. Or you're going to have to go through the caves. Now I wish you had Torchbearer, but that's oh well, such is life. So I think I'll keep it. The chapel, where's the chapel? Again, not super far, but we're going to have to go through the borderland. Like the Druid's actually in the worst position. So we're going to write these. We'll take Sudden Insight. Yeah, he got unlucky. Harry Potter 5, Pilgrim, done. So I think he keeps those. He's ready to go. Now we got the Dwarf. Fan club at the house, locate the altar, and sacrifice. Now, I tell you what, locate the altar is a bit of a pain, but man, with sacrifice, so good, right? Because you literally have to go to the altar anyway. The fan club isn't miles away for the Dwarf. It's not super close. Because you got to essentially go. But he can make that fairly quickly. I think he keeps those for now. Fan club. Locate altar. Sacrifice. And yeah, having another chit, especially, frankly, another move chit, and a couple more move asterisks might help him. So sacrifice doesn't look too bad. I think I'm going to keep those. And I think we are good with him. Both not bad draws for anybody. Strangely enough, a white source is sort of intriguing for the White Knight. Don't super love the archaeological dig. It is quite a bit ways away. Tiny hut. I mean, he could easily turn that in, like, instantly. He could burn that. Ugh. Do we keep the dig? So the reason I wonder about the dig is simply it's here. And, he's got a little bit of a ways to go. It's a little bit of a way to go there for him. And he has to find this. And he can do that. It's not forever. It's just a bit of a haul. What he really needs is he really needs quests that are going to take him to like the deep woods or like explore the cliff would be great for him. Just cause, I mean, he's gonna have to hit those anyway. I don't like the fact he only has a single card, a single point in his hand. That's always a bad starting sign. Obviously, he'll have to play Hut day one, and the white source is certainly useful because it means he can heal himself outside of the chapel once. So I probably keep it. White source. Archaeological dig site. And then tiny hut. Or you could turn the hut in. I don't really care about any of the visitors, really. I just don't like the but that's sort of a waste. You might as well utilize the ability to put a guy down. So I'll keep it for now and done. So I suppose we're keeping that too. So nobody has turned cards back in. And now the Witch King. He has Guide. That's actually good for him simply because he had Woodwise. He's got to touch 3 woods hexes. That's actually pretty good. That's actually pretty good. And then the Lost City, which, I don't know. Sure. Large treasure is nice if you get it. It is in the dark. That's going to suck a little bit because it's going to be 2 phases instead of 3, right? Instead of 4. You don't love that. Excuse me. Don't love it. I'll keep Guide because then he can find a secret path, which normally is very hard for him. I'll take Woodwise because those woods are all close. And then do I just plain old get rid of treasure cache and go, yeah, I'm not going to find the Lost City. Yeah, I am. I'm going to dump it. He'll be the first one to dump a card. Bang. And you get the locksmith. That also sucks, by the way. But he has to keep it. Random clearing in the high pass, so we roll 4. No easier for him to get to. Actually, just I suppose it's actually not terrible, especially since he has Guide, but that wouldn't have been a pick. At least he knows where it is. So I think Woodwise is first. You just pop these 3 wood tiles, get the squirrel, and you can utilize the squirrel from there. So I think we have everybody's stuff ready to go. Let's get our 3 events, and then we will be ready to start the game. So we have a fairy ring, a damsel in distress, and the young knight. Oh, I actually, so that's pretty fun actually. So fairy ring, we've got a damsel which we'll put out there, and we got the young strapping lad. I did change up some of those things there. Random clearing in the deep woods is first. 3. So Deep Woods 3. The damsel appears at the lair or the hoard, so I'm just going to put her there. And the young knight is in a random clearing. That random clearing is 4, 6, clip 6. Interesting. And again, that's a lot of points sitting there for possibly the Witch King and maybe for the White Knight. Oh, excuse me, geez, I'm yawning up a storm. That's why I'm not starting this game tonight. I don't want to be on stream yawning at all of you. But those are a good first 3 to pull. I like those a lot. And by the way, sort of fun. If we roll the young knight 6. Games, nope, objects saved. We actually made the knight. And you can see him right there. So we actually made him. And there you go. Oh, we didn't do, womp womp. Back. Cloud, upload. Whoa, what the hell? That didn't work. Okay, well, we'll figure that out. That's a different beast, sir. A different beast. Okay, well, we'll figure that out. Anyway, we made chits. They just don't work. All right, well, I'll talk to you guys later on. This is going to be, by the way, I will probably release this one tonight. We will be starting this on Monday. And so hopefully you will all come and join me. So have a good night and a good rest of your weekend.